tie in a quick part two, because think about this, okay? If what you put into your body affects your entire body, not just one organ, or let's say if you're taking a herb or whatever to target a specific organ, all right? Which is not, I don't believe that's the case, you know what I mean? The same way we look at everything outside of us and say everything's connected within you, and everything gets affected to some extent. But there's, if you really want to look at it from a micro, macro level, I mean, just think about this. How is it that what we do affects the entirety of the collective? You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I said, all information is pretty much a diet. You get what I'm saying? We gotta have a balanced diet. Everything is balanced, always finding that balance. So if we, for example, all right, are affecting the entire body by what we put in, all right, so it'll basically be tying into the same thing, all right? We're feeding each other, okay? We're feeding each other. We cry about the fact that we're in a system where we got to pay for everything, but see, we're selling every time we come out with a topic. We're selling something, you know what I mean? And it's basically selling an idea, selling this, selling that, whatever it may be, all right? And like I said before, it would be, you know, if you guide a child, right? Are you going to get all egotistical because you guided a child? Like I guide my son, all right? And I guide him based on, you know, the best of my abilities as to what I know, right? Learning from my mistakes, I can only guide him, but I'm not going to get egotistical about it and be like, oh, I'm better than him. You know, I came out with a fire thing to guide him on. You get what I'm trying to tell you? But see, this is the thing. If we keep our mindset, and in this way, you'll be even more attractive, okay? I even noticed this. You'll be more attractive, and not physically, but in a way where you'll attract the right vibes, because your vibe attracts your tribe. You know, it's not coming out with the intention to, you know, come out with an impactful topic, but, you know, just basically be an impact that's going to create a change based on changes you made with yourself, okay? You know, and this is why I say you're here in this realm because you're vibrating to this frequency. You choose to be here. You get what I'm saying? So if, you know, you're blaming government, you're blaming whatever you're blaming outside of you, there's to some extent a piece of you that is exactly like that. And that's the reason why you're experiencing this. And this is why I say that the key is to, you know, vibrate beyond this suitcase. All right? Because the last video I talked about, you know, that movie where the guy goes into a suitcase. But if you really want to look at it, we're in a suitcase. This is, you know, this is our suitcase. All right, but we should be able to come in and out of this suitcase, you know, whenever we want to. So if you change your mind, not just toward, because I always say change your mind, change your life. And why I say I feel like I'm on the right track is because, see, a lot of the stuff that I'm inspired by listening to from, like, you know, Brother Panic, or, you know, inspiring messages, or things that I have already talked about and thought about, but it only further confirms that I'm on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Because these are things that I've actually came to a realization and knowing for me to speak on. What I want to try to encourage is for people to get away from, like, regurgitating information. The reason I say this is because it's only polluting the waters and the food more, okay? And this is what we're doing as a collective. You see, all information is a diet, but when we regurgitate shit, you're coming from a space where you're not even having a full understanding or awareness of what you speak on. Then it basically pollutes the food and the water that is out here, okay? Because that's what we do. We're feeding each other. And do it from a space of unconditional love where you're not expecting anything back. Because if not, you're selling it. right, you're selling an idea, but in actuality, it's just basically putting out. Because I'll tell you right now, a lot of these videos I have, I go back and watch myself, and there's things that happen, you know, energies change, things happen, and you sometimes tend to, you know, go back and watch your videos, and it's a reminder. You're like, because you were managing a certain energy that, you know, you used to put out information. Okay, it's just like if you have an intent to cook a meal, right? You need energy to cook your meal. You got to be motivated to cook a meal. If you don't want to cook a meal, there's the moon right ahead. See? Yeah, I know. So, you know, and you wanna cook with the intent to, you know, be healthy and whatnot. I'm gonna make a video on the bodybuilding world, because see, here's the thing with the bodybuilding world. The bodybuilding world, you see, these bodybuilders, they say, well, I'm getting size, I'm getting gains from the foods I eat, right? You know, regardless of what you're saying with the microwaving the food and all that. Because here's the thing though. Do you notice how when these bodybuilders eat, they eat with a specific intent to get big? You get what I'm saying? They're eating and they're going like this, like they're literally eating their food, looking at their biceps, like, yeah, grow. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mentality. Their mind is always on. They're gonna grow regardless. You know what I mean? Whether they put the food in there or not, but they have a belief that they won't grow to their, you know, because if they don't eat. When if they did believe they can grow without eating, they would actually grow. Because I'm eating a hell of a lot less than I was before, maybe one, at most 2 times a day, and I've actually put on some size. And I'll tell you right now, one must do what they love to do. You see, when I was coming into this path, I got off the bodybuilding, I got off a lot of the things that I was doing before, because and it's kind of like going into a religious mindset. But you see, here's the thing, I went back to lifting weights. I feel amazing. You see, it is something that I love to do. See, I do things because I love to do them. Like I've mentioned in videos before. You know, if I lift weights, if I garden, if I, you know, go out and rollerblade with my dog, or play hockey or handball, whatever it may be, I do it because I like it. You get what I'm saying? I make a video, all right, with an intent to, because I'll tell you right now, sometimes I don't even think of the topic I'm going to talk about, right? I'll just make the video and go with the flow without notes. And I feel like my best information comes out for me. It doesn't necessarily have to be for you. It could be for me. When I go back and watch my videos, I leave an impression. I'm like, wow, man, that was good. I impressed myself. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, there's cops ahead of me. I don't know why, but whatever. I think maybe I have to do a detour. I just don't want to get a ticket for having a device in my hand, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, so I don't know, something happened at that bridge, but all right, so yeah, I mean, that's basically what I wanted to pretty much talk about. Is if you pay attention to, you know, the things you do and why you do them, all right, you start to know where they're coming from, you know, and what the intention is for you to do them. If you really sit back and start to think, like, does anybody that agree with your information, or even follows you or subscribes to you, does that even matter? You get what I'm saying? When I spoke about before, you know, the purpose of, like, you know, the purpose is to just basically learn how to vibrate beyond this physical existence, and I think that's the biggest key here. When you can vibrate beyond this physical existence, all right, you go back, because if you, and this is what the studying part is about, think about what you can see here. You can only see under 1% of the color spectrum. We use a certain, all right, relax, a certain, you know, the brain, for example, is, I told you to give me a second, bro.
Okay, look, I can't open this. I told you I was not saying that.
So,
I'm just saying this.
Alright, so I'm gonna go and run with my boy in the park. Alright. That is all I wanted to cover. You know what I'm saying? So
Right there, that's fun.
we'll talk soon, bro.